My name is Emily Callahan. I'm 29. Last Tuesday at 6:47 in the morning, I was standing in my own basement, holding a box of my engineering textbooks, when my father told me I had exactly 4 hours to move everything I owned downstairs because my pregnant sister-in-law Jessica needed the master bedroom with the attached bathroom, and family takes care of family. I was holding my framed PE license, the one I'd worked 6 years to earn. The license that hung in my bedroom in my house that I bought with my FHA loan at age 25 with a $72,000 starting salary and a 3.2% interest rate, I locked in after passing the Fundamentals of Engineering exam on my first try. "Dad, this is my house," I said. My voice was steady. I'd learned steady. "Our house," he corrected. He was holding a coffee mug that said "World's Best Grandpa to Be." Jessica had given it to him last week. "The house the Callahan family lives in. Ryan and Jessica need space for the baby. You're single. You don't need a master suite. I pay the mortgage every month. $1,847.23. I've never been late. Not once in 4 years." My mother appeared at the top of the basement stairs. She was carrying folded towels, my towels from my bathroom. "Emily, don't make this difficult. Jessica's 6 months pregnant. She can't be climbing stairs." "Then they can rent an apartment," I said. My father's face changed. It's the face he makes when you've crossed a line you didn't know existed until you stepped over it. Ryan carries the Callahan name forward. That baby is a Callahan. You're just Emily. You'll understand when you're a mother, if you ever are. Something cracked in my chest. Not broke, cracked, like a foundation settling. "I'm calling a lawyer," I said. My father laughed. Actually laughed. "Sweetheart, you can't afford a lawyer. You're still paying off student loans." He walked away. My mother followed him. I heard them upstairs, opening my closet, discussing which bedroom furniture Jessica would want to keep. I sat down on the concrete basement floor. The cold seeped through my jeans. I called my bank. I needed to confirm something I'd seen 3 weeks ago on my credit monitoring alert, something I'd convinced myself was a mistake. Before I go on, if stories about standing up for yourself mean something to you, please hit like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments where you're watching from right now and what time it is there. I need to know I'm not alone in this. The bank representative's name was Keisha. She had a kind voice. "Ms. Callahan, I'm showing a second mortgage on the property at 42 Elmwood Avenue. Opened November 14th, 2022. Current balance $95,000. I never opened a second mortgage. The signature on file matches our records. You and your mother co-signed." My mother. I felt my pulse in my teeth. "Can you email me the documentation?" "Absolutely. Is the email on file still current?" It was. I hung up. The email arrived 4 minutes and 18 seconds later. I opened the PDF. There was my signature. Except it wasn't. It was traced, carefully, perfectly traced, from the signature I'd used on my car lease in 2021, the lease my father had co-signed, the lease agreement he'd kept a copy of for his records. My mother's signature was below mine, witnessed by Susan Callahan, loan officer, Marcus Webb, Worcester Community Credit Union. I read the fine print. The loan was approved after verbal verification and established relationship with primary account holder's family. There was a note in the margin, handwritten, "PJC confirmed identity. Good for it. PJC, Patrick James Callahan, my father." I called Marcus Webb directly. His secretary put me through. "Marcus Webb. This is Emily Callahan. I'm calling about the $95,000 second mortgage on 42 Elmwood Avenue." "Oh, hey, Emily! Your dad talks about you all the time. How's the engineering going?" "I didn't sign that mortgage application." Silence. Then, "What?" "I didn't sign it. I was never in your office. I never applied for a second mortgage. That's not my signature." More silence. I heard him breathing. "Emily, your dad brought in the paperwork. You and your mom were co-signers. I processed it personally. I was never there, Marcus. Your dad said, he stopped. Look, your dad and I go back. We grab beers sometimes. He said you were buying a rental property, needed cash for the down payment, and you were embarrassed to come in because you were behind on some credit cards. I closed my eyes. My father had thought of everything. I've never been behind on a credit card in my life. Pull my credit report right now. I heard typing, then, oh, oh no. Yeah. Emily, I need to put you on hold. He didn't put me on hold. He hung up. I called back 6 times. Straight to voicemail. I went upstairs. Ryan was in the kitchen, eating cereal from my bowls. Jessica was on the couch, her feet up on my coffee table, scrolling through nursery furniture on her phone. "Where's Dad?" I asked. "Hardware store," Ryan said. He didn't look up. "Why?" "I need to talk to him about the mortgage." Now he looked up. "What mortgage?" "The $95,000 second mortgage Dad took out in my name." Jessica's head snapped toward me. "What are you talking about?" November 14th, 2022. Dad forged my signature. Mom witnessed it. They took out $95,000 against my house. Ryan stood up. "He's bigger than me. Always has been." "You're lying." "I have the paperwork." "Dad wouldn't do that." "He did." Ryan's face was red. "He gets that from Dad." "You've always been jealous. Ever since I was born. Mom said you used to hide my baby bottles." "I was 4 years old, Ryan." "You're making this up because you're bitter about the basement. You can't stand that I'm having a kid and you're not." Jessica started crying. Real tears. "I knew you didn't want us here. I told Ryan. I said, your sister hates me." "I don't hate you, Jessica. I don't even know you. You've lived here for 3 months and we've had maybe 5 conversations." "See?" Jessica looked at Ryan. "She admits it. She doesn't even talk to me." My mother came through the front door carrying grocery bags. "What's going on?" "Emily's accusing Dad of fraud," Ryan said. My mother set the bags down very carefully. Her face was blank. Completely blank. "Emily, can we talk privately?" We went into the garage. She closed the door. "Mom, I know you signed as a witness. I have the document." "Your father needed the money." Just like that. No denial, no shock. "For what?" Ryan's dealership was underwater. He owed $140,000 to his supplier. They were going to sue. We couldn't let that happen. "So you stole from me." "We borrowed. The plan was to pay it back before you noticed." "By forcing me into the basement and moving Ryan's family in so you could claim it's a family house?" My mother's eyes filled with tears. She's very good at that. "You don't understand what it's like to watch your son lose everything. Ryan has a family now. He needs stability." "I bought this house, Mom. I worked 60-hour weeks as an EIT for 2 years to save the down payment. I passed my PE exam on my first attempt. I got promoted to senior project engineer 6 months ago. I make $104,000 a year. This is my house." "You're so selfish." Her voice was soft, disappointed. "Your father always said you were the smart one, but never the kind one." That's when I understood. They'd been saying this for years, behind my back, to relatives, to neighbors. Emily's smart but not kind. Emily's successful but not family-oriented. Emily's the daughter who thinks she's better than everyone else. I walked out of the garage. I packed a bag. I called my coworker, Aisha, and asked if I could sleep on her couch. She said yes immediately. She didn't ask why. As I was leaving, my father came home. He was carrying lumber, 2x4s. He saw my bag. "Where are you going?" "Anywhere that isn't here." "Emily, don't be dramatic. You forged my signature. You stole $95,000 from me." He set the lumber down, carefully. "I provided for you for 18 years. I put a roof over your head. I paid for your braces. This is how you repay me? By accusing me of theft? You committed mortgage fraud. I secured a loan against a property I helped you purchase. You didn't help me. I qualified alone. You weren't even on the original application. I taught you how to save money. I taught you how to work hard. You think you did this alone?" He laughed. It was the coldest sound I've ever heard. "You've always been ungrateful, just like your grandmother said. That girl takes and never gives back." I walked to my car. Ryan followed me out. "If you report this to the police, you'll destroy this family," he said. "I didn't destroy anything. Dad did." "Jessica's pregnant? You'd really put the father of my child in jail?" I got in my car. I drove away. In my rearview mirror, I saw all three of them standing in the driveway of my house. My father had his arm around Ryan. My mother was crying. Jessica was on her phone. I slept on Aisha's couch for 3 weeks. I called 7 lawyers. 6 of them said family fraud cases were messy, expensive, and emotionally devastating. The 7th, a woman named Patricia Moreno, said, "This is actually straightforward. You have documented fraud, you have a timeline, you have a career that provides alibi evidence for any claims they might make against you. When can you come in?" I met her on a Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Her office was in a renovated factory building in downtown Worcester. She had a wall of law books and a desk covered in case files. "Walk me through the timeline," she said. I did. I showed her everything: the forged signature, the credit monitoring alert, the loan documents, the bank representative's notes, the property deed showing sole ownership. "Do you have proof you've been paying the mortgage alone?" I pulled out my folder. 4 years of bank statements. Every single $1,847.23 payment. Utilities in my name, home insurance in my name, property tax receipts, repair invoices, roof repair in 2021, $4,200, furnace replacement in 2023, $6,800, snow removal, lawn care, pest control. Who else lives in the house? My father, mother, brother, and sister-in-law. Do they pay rent? No. Do they contribute to utilities, repairs, maintenance? No. Patricia leaned back in her chair. "Emily, this isn't just fraud. This is financial exploitation. Your father took out a loan in your name, never paid a cent toward the property, and then tried to displace you in your own home. What can I do?" "We report the fraud to the bank and the police. We file for a restraining order to remove them from the property. We sue for recovery of funds plus damages. It'll take 6 months, maybe a year. It won't be easy." "Will I lose the house?" "Not if we move fast. The bank will want to protect themselves. They approved a fraudulent loan. They're liable, too." I signed the retainer agreement that night. Patricia filed the police report the next morning. By Friday afternoon, my father had been contacted by both Worcester PD and the credit union's fraud investigation unit. He called me 47 times that weekend. I didn't answer. He left voicemails. "Emily, we can work this out. You're overreacting. Emily, think about Jessica and the baby. You're stressing out a pregnant woman. Emily, I will never forgive you for this." My mother sent text messages, long ones, about family, about forgiveness, about how I was breaking her heart, about how my grandmother, her mother, would be ashamed of me. I blocked their numbers. I kept working. I had a bridge inspection in Springfield, a highway expansion proposal in Framingham, a drainage system redesign in Lowell. I showed up at 7 a.m. I stayed until 6 p.m. I reviewed blueprints. I calculated load capacities. I signed off on permits. My boss, Jim Hartley, called me into his office 3 weeks after I'd filed the police report. "Emily, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest." My stomach dropped. "Okay." "Your father called me." "Of course he did. He said you're having a mental health crisis. He said you're making false accusations against your family because you're jealous of your brother's success." I sat very still. "Did he say what I'm accusing him of?" He said you're claiming he stole money from you. He said it's not true. He said he's worried about you. Jim, my father forged my signature on a $95,000 mortgage document. I have proof. I've filed a police report. I'm working with a lawyer. Jim's face changed. Do you have the documentation? I pulled out my phone. I showed him the forged signature comparison, the bank emails, the police report number. He read everything. Then he said, Emily, I'm sorry. I don't even know what to say. He's trying to discredit me at work. It won't work. You're one of the best engineers we have. Your PE license is impeccable. You've never missed a deadline. If anything, this proves you're holding it together under unimaginable stress. I started crying. I didn't mean to. I never cry at work. Jim handed me a box of tissues. Take the rest of the day. Hell, take the rest of the week. You have PTO. Use it. I went back to Aisha's apartment. She was home, making dinner. She took one look at me and said, What happened? I told her everything. She listened. She didn't interrupt. When I finished, she said, Em, you need to stop sleeping on my couch. You need your own place. Let me help you look. We found a studio apartment in Shrewsbury. It was small. It was $1,200 a month. It had a Murphy bed and a kitchen the size of a closet. I signed the lease that weekend. I moved in with one suitcase, my laptop, and my framed PE license. For the first time in 4 months, I slept through the night. The next day, my father showed up at my job site. I was inspecting a bridge foundation in Webster. It was 11 a.m. I was standing in a construction zone wearing a hard hat and steel-toed boots, talking to the site foreman about rebar placement. My father walked right past the safety barriers. Emily! The foreman looked at me. You know him? Unfortunately. My father reached me. He was out of breath. We need to talk. No, we don't. The police came to the house. They interviewed your mother. They took documents. You're destroying this family. You destroyed this family when you forged my signature. I'm your father. You owe me respect. I'm a licensed professional engineer standing on an active construction site. You're trespassing. Leave. Not until you drop the charges. The foreman stepped forward. Sir, you need to leave. This is a restricted area. I'm talking to my daughter. I don't care if you're talking to the Pope. You're not authorized to be here. Leave, or I call the cops. My father looked at me. His face was red. His jaw was tight. You've always been cold. Your mother said it when you were 12. That girl has no heart. I defended you. I was wrong. He left. I finished the inspection. My hands didn't shake until I got back to my truck. That night, Patricia called. I have good news and complicated news. Which do you want first? Good news. The credit union is cooperating. They've frozen the second mortgage. They're conducting an internal investigation. The loan officer, Marcus Webb, has been suspended pending review. And the complicated news? Your parents are claiming the $95,000 was a gift. They're saying you knew about it, approved it, and you're only reporting it now because of a family dispute. That's insane. It's also their only defense. We need to prove you had no knowledge of the loan and no access to the funds. I can do that. I have bank statements. The $95,000 never touched my accounts. I have credit monitoring alerts showing I was notified of the new loan after it was already opened. I have emails to Marcus Webb asking what the loan was for. Perfect. Send me everything. I did. I sent her 4 years of financial records, every bank statement, every credit report, every email, every text message. 2 weeks later, the district attorney's office contacted Patricia. They were opening a criminal investigation into mortgage fraud. My father was officially a suspect. I thought I'd feel vindicated. Instead, I just felt tired. I kept working. I kept paying rent on my studio apartment. I kept paying the mortgage on 42 Elmwood Avenue, even though I wasn't living there. $1,847.23 every month, like clockwork. In May, 5 months after I'd moved out, I got a call from my neighbor, the old woman who lived next door, Margaret Hayes. She was 67. I'd shoveled her driveway every winter for 4 years. Emily, it's Margaret. I need to tell you something. Is everything okay? I saw what your father did. I've been watching this whole time. I watched you paint that house. I watched you replace the roof. I watched you shovel snow at 6 in the morning before work. I never saw your family do a single thing. Margaret, you don't have to. Yes, I do. Your father came to my door last week. He told me if anyone asked, I should say Ryan helped with the house. He said it would help the family. I told him to get off my porch. Thank you. Emily, I want to testify. If this goes to court, I want to tell the truth. You built that home with your own 2 hands. They treated you like free labor. I started crying again. Thank you. You're a good girl. Your father's a fool. In June, Jessica had her baby. A boy. They named him Patrick Ryan Callahan. My mother sent me a photo. I didn't respond. In July, Patricia called with an update. The DA is offering your father a deal. Plead guilty to mortgage fraud, repay the $95,000 plus penalties, avoid jail time. Is he taking it? No, he's insisting you're lying. He's hired a lawyer. This is going to trial. When? Probably not until next year. But Emily, there's something else. Your sister-in-law, Jessica, is hosting a baby shower, a big one, at your house. She's calling it an open house. Welcome, baby Callahan. It's next Sunday. How do you know? Your cousin posted about it on Facebook. 45 confirmed guests. I closed my eyes. They're using my house to celebrate. Yes. And Emily, this might be your moment. The one where everyone sees the truth at once. What do you mean? Show up. Bring the documents. Bring me. Bring Margaret. Let your father explain to 45 people how he's hosting a party in a house he doesn't own, financed by money he stole from his daughter. That's brutal. It's truth. Your call. I thought about it for 3 days. I thought about staying away. I thought about just letting the legal system handle it. I thought about being the bigger person. Then I remembered my father's face when he said, "You've always been ungrateful." I called Patricia back. I'm going. Sunday, July 21st was a perfect summer day. 84 degrees, clear sky, the kind of day where everything feels possible. I drove to 42 Elmwood Avenue at 2:30 p.m. The party started at 2 o'clock. I wanted them settled, comfortable, confident. There were cars everywhere. My driveway, my lawn, the street. I parked 3 houses down. Patricia parked behind me. Margaret met us on the sidewalk. She was wearing a floral dress and carrying a folder. Ready? Patricia asked. No, but let's go anyway. The backyard was full. Balloons everywhere, blue and white. It's a boy! Banners. A catering table with sandwich platters and a sheet cake that said, "Welcome, baby Patrick." My father was standing by the grill, holding the baby, surrounded by relatives. He was telling a story. Everyone was laughing. My mother saw me first. Her face went white. I walked through the crowd. People stepped aside. They knew something was wrong. You could feel it. I reached the center of the yard. My father turned. He was still smiling. Then he saw me. The smile died. Emily, what are you doing here? I live here. Technically. This is a private family event. In my house. The crowd went silent. 45 people. I counted later. 45 witnesses. Jessica came out of the house carrying a tray of drinks. She saw me and stopped. Patrick, she's here. My father handed the baby to my mother. He stepped toward me. You need to leave. I need you to explain something first. I opened the manila folder Patricia had given me. Can you tell everyone here who owns 42 Elmwood Avenue? The family does. Wrong, I do. I bought this house in October 2020 with an FHA loan for $234,000. I've made every single mortgage payment, every single utility payment, every single repair. I have the deed. Would you like to see it? I held up the property deed. My name, sole owner. My uncle stepped forward. My father's brother. Patrick, what's she talking about? She's confused, my father said. The house it's complicated. She helped with the down payment, but I didn't help. I bought it. Alone. I pulled out the next document. Here's the original mortgage application, October 12, 2020. Applicant, Emily Callahan. Co-applicant, none. Loan amount, $234,000. Approved. My aunt took the paper from my hand. She read it. She looked at my father. Patrick? Emily's making this about money. It's always been about money with her. No, I said. It's about truth and theft. I pulled out the next document, the forged signature. I held it up next to my driver's license signature. This is the signature on the $95,000 second mortgage Dad took out in my name. Notice anything? Margaret stepped forward. It's traced. Anyone can see it's traced. My father's face was bright red. Margaret, stay out of this. No, I've stayed out of it for too long. Margaret turned to the crowd. I've lived next door for 8 years. I've watched this girl work herself half to death on this property. I've never seen Patrick or Susan or Ryan lift a finger, not once. Emily shoveled my driveway every winter at 6 a.m. before her shift. Emily fixed the roof in a thunderstorm when water was coming through the ceiling. Emily repaired the furnace when it broke in January at midnight, and it was 11 degrees outside. Where was the family then? Margaret, my mother started. Susan, be quiet. You lied to me. Patrick asked me to say Ryan helped with the house. He didn't. Ryan hasn't touched a tool in his life. My cousin took out her phone. She was recording. Other people followed. My father saw the phones. Turn those off. This is a private matter. In a house that's not yours, I said. Dad, explain to everyone how you signed my name on a $95,000 loan. Explain how you used that money to pay off Ryan's business debts. Explain how you tried to force me into the basement of my own house so Ryan could have the master bedroom. Jessica started crying, the theatrical kind. I don't understand. Patrick said this was his house. He said Emily was renting a room. I wasn't renting. I was the owner being displaced by squatters. That's enough. My father's voice was loud, final. Emily, you will apologize right now, in front of everyone. You will admit you're exaggerating. You will— No. He blinked. What? No, I won't apologize. I won't lie. I won't pretend this didn't happen. Patricia stepped forward. Mr. Callahan, I'm Patricia Moreno, Emily's attorney. You've been served with a civil complaint for fraud, theft, and financial exploitation. You're also under criminal investigation for mortgage fraud. Worcester PD has an active case file. Marcus Webb at Worcester Community Credit Union has already testified that you brought in forged documents. My father looked around. The crowd was backing away from him. Not physically, but energetically. You could see it. The shift. My uncle spoke. Patrick, did you forge Emily's signature? It's not that simple. Ryan needed help. He's my son. Emily's successful. She doesn't need— Did you or did you not forge her signature? Silence. Then. The loan officer knew it was me. He approved it. It's not fraud if— Yes, it is, Patricia said. It's textbook fraud. My mother grabbed my father's arm. Patrick stopped talking, but he couldn't. Emily owes us. We raised her. We fed her. We gave her everything. This house, this was supposed to be for the family, not just her. She's selfish. She's always been selfish. I paid for this house, I said. My voice was calm, steady. I work 60-hour weeks. I passed my PE exam on the first try. I make $104,000 a year. I've paid $88,662.96 in mortgage payments over 4 years. I've paid $14,200 in property taxes. I've paid $6,800 for a new furnace, $4,200 for roof repairs, $3,100 for a water heater, $2,400 for pest control, $1,800 for snow removal, and $890 for lawn care. I have receipts for every single dollar. What have you paid? Silence. Nothing, Margaret said. He's paid nothing. I've watched. 4 years. Nothing. My father turned to the crowd. You all know me. You know I wouldn't. I'm a good father. I provided for my children. This is Emily's trying to destroy me because she's bitter about Ryan having a family. My cousin, the one recording, spoke up. Uncle Patrick, if the house is Emily's, why are you hosting a party here? Because it's the family home. But it's not. It's Emily's home. That you stole. I didn't steal anything. You forged her signature for $95,000. That's theft. My father looked at Ryan. Say something. Tell them Emily's lying. Ryan was holding his son. He looked down at the baby, then at me. Dad, did you forge her signature? Ryan, did you? It was for you. Your dealership was going under. You would have lost everything. I protected you. By stealing from Emily? She's my daughter. You're my son. The Callahan name continues through you. So Emily doesn't matter? She matters. But you're the legacy. Ryan's face crumbled. I didn't know. Dad, I swear I didn't know. Jessica was sobbing, real tears now. We have to leave. We can't stay here. This isn't our house. My father grabbed my arm. You will not do this. You will not humiliate me in front of my family. I pulled away. You humiliated yourself. I turned to the crowd. I'm filing a restraining order tomorrow. I'm requesting immediate removal of all occupants who don't hold title to this property. That includes my parents, my brother, and my sister-in-law. You have 30 days to vacate. My lawyer will send official notice. My mother started crying, the big, heaving kind. You're tearing this family apart. I'm not tearing anything apart. I'm telling the truth. I handed Patricia the folder. She took out a document and handed it to my uncle. This is a copy of the forged mortgage application. Notice the date, November 14th, 2022. Emily was in Springfield that day conducting a bridge inspection. She has time-stamped photographs from the site, GPS data from her work vehicle, and a sign-in sheet from the inspection office. She was 94 miles away when this document was supposedly signed. My uncle read the document. He looked at my father. Patrick, you're done. You hear me? Done. He walked away. Half the crowd followed him. The party was over. I walked through the backyard, through the gate, back to my car. Patricia and Margaret followed. That was brave, Margaret said. That was necessary, I corrected. We drove away. In my rearview mirror, I saw my father standing alone by the grill. The baby shower banner flapped in the wind. The balloons drifted across the lawn. 3 weeks later, my family moved out. Ryan and Jessica found a rental. My parents moved to a condo my uncle owned. They didn't speak to me. They sent movers. I moved back into 42 Elmwood Avenue on August 12th. I walked through every room. I opened every window. I let the air move through. It felt like mine again. In September, the district attorney offered my father a second deal. Plead guilty, repay $95,000 plus $32,000 in penalties. 3 years probation. This time he took it. The Worcester Community Credit Union settled with me privately. They paid $18,000 in damages and removed the fraudulent loan from my credit report. Marcus Webb was fired. I never spoke to my father again. Or my mother. Ryan sent me a letter 6 months later. It said, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I hope you believe me. I did believe him, but I didn't respond. In January, 1 year after the basement conversation, I got my property equity appraised. The house was worth $312,000. After the original mortgage, I had $78,000 in equity, free and clear. I refinanced. I locked in a 2.8% rate. My payment dropped to $1,420 a month. I adopted a cat. I named her Margaret. The cat, not the neighbor. Margaret, the neighbor, laughed when I told her. She brings the cat treats every Sunday. I'm still a senior project engineer. I'm working on a highway expansion in Northampton. I signed off on a $4.2 million project last week. My signature, my real signature, is on every permit. I see my father sometimes, at the grocery store, at the gas station. He doesn't acknowledge me. I don't acknowledge him. I sleep in the master bedroom now, the one with the attached bathroom, the one I was told I didn't need because I was single. If you're watching this and you've ever been told you owe someone your success, your home, your peace because they're family, you don't. You owe them nothing but truth. And if they can't handle truth, they don't deserve access. If you've ever been called selfish for protecting what you built, type, "I built this" in the comments. Or if you've been the golden child who discovered the foundation was built on someone else's sacrifice, type, "I see it now." Both realizations are painful. Both are necessary. Thank you for being here. Check the description for more stories just like this one.